Welcome to part 2 of Castle Builder. I made a number of changes. First of all, instead of using static wall pieces to build your wall, you can now create them dynamically just simply by selecting. And the size is determined, let me change that to that texture. Your size is determined by your grid, like it's set to 5 units there. If you turn on single unit grid, you can create smaller ones of any size and height. So one thing that I also added in was lighting. You can turn lighting on so you get a shading effect. Let me turn that off for a sec and create the rest of my walls here. You can see it's much quicker than placing a bunch of individual 5x5 blocks. So we've got our wall to our lower level started. So now let's add where our entry stairway is going to be at the second level. You got standard pieces. Notice how it's not the direction we want. I added, if you have something selected, you can right click and just keep rotating it 90 till you get it the orientation you want. And then you can just double click to place. Another thing I added is you no longer have to use the context menu to move stuff. If you double click it, it selects it. Again, you can rotate, do whatever you want with it, and you double click it to place it again. So place and select is double click. Another thing that I added is the grid now is automatic. It goes with whatever surface selection. If you don't select a surface, it stays at 0. If you have a surface, it's whatever level on the surface you have it by holding the control key. So I could change to like wood to create a wooden beam, and bam, I got a wooden beam. Now I could create another one doing the same thing, or I can just copy it and place it. And if I hold down the control key, I can place it at a different level if I want to, but I don't want to, so I'm going to delete that one. And bam, back to 0. So you can now start creating stuff, dynamically instead of relying on standard size pieces. Now we still have the standard pieces. Let me rotate that for creating, complex objects, and we can then add in our support beams here. There we go. And again, you can also copy them if you don't want to create them on the fly. We can see I didn't place that where I wanted, so I bring the grid up here. We're going to rotate it so we can see this is where we want to place it. Bam. And then we got that in place. And then we can just start creating beams to connect them right here. I mean, it's that simple. And everything else is pretty much the same. So that's what I've changed so far. So again, we got dynamic wall creation or object creation as opposed to using standard pieces. You can still use standard pieces, but this just gives you a lot more flexibility, for creating stuff that you want to create. So we got that, and then again the rotate on a selected object and double clicking for pick and place to make it a lot quicker so you don't have to right click to move stuff. So that's all I got for you right now. I'll have more later.